about who stands with you. If you were to listen to people tell you who your friends are, you would never have those people next to you because you would never realize that Sandy Burnhamby is not your enemy because she's white.
Absolutely.
You know, so you start thinking that maybe the minister who's not your friend is your friend while he's in the back cutting a deal with the DA.
Like, so being that
That's right.
being that we're talking about the pastors, right? Being that you said that, so you know, like recent they've been posting pictures of and footage about the pastors with Donald Trump, right?
Yeah, we got some of that on Black Westchester too. Yeah.
And then there was around 3 pastors in particular who stepped out and was like, "Yeah, nah, that's not how the meeting went." And how media set them up.
No, they set themselves up. They went.
You right. I'm telling you what they said.
The media did not set them up. They set themselves up because they went.
Because what was it, Jamal Bryant, the one that didn't go?
No. Regardless of the fact, Donald Trump used that to his advantage.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, to say only thing he needed to say that he met with black pastors. The same way Hillary Clinton set up the Black Lives Matter movement, and they didn't come out with nothing that she was going to do. It's no different. We don't have to legitimize ourselves to Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump by meeting with them. When meeting with them, we legitimize their foolishness. See, we don't have to meet with them. Donald Trump ain't gonna do nothing more than he has ever done for black people. Donald Trump has yet to apologize to the Central Park Five, who's found innocent of all charges after he took out full-page ads against them.
Calling them animals.
Right? So we don't have to meet with Donald Trump for nothing. Understand? And just like Jamal Bryant said, he didn't even have 100 white pastors meeting with him. He didn't even have 100 Jewish rabbis meeting with him. So why these black pastors have to go? It's always black pastors, like they trying to save somebody for Jesus Christ. Like they trying to save a soul. These souls can't be saved. See, what you need to be focusing on is saving the souls in the community that you're sucking the money out of. How about trying to get behind the pulpit and saving those souls? Try saving those souls first before we try saving our enemies' souls. Because I know Jesus ain't talk about saving no enemy souls, especially when he had enough souls in his own community to save. So, you know, I mean, those black pastors got caught out there, they got suckered, and then they trying to justify their foolishness. See, we give a lot of times there's a lot of black pastors that I love dearly, a lot of them. You know, I got love for Reverend Richardson, but you was totally wrong on this one, brother, totally wrong. After what they did to Chris,
who goes to your church, right?
Whose father went to the church.
Right.
See, back then it was good for TV. It was a whitewash. It was good for TV, and nothing came out of that.
Well, the same thing happened with Mr. Chamberlain's case, okay? And I remember when Ken Chamberlain and I sat down with Reverend Sharpton, okay? And he had us on the radio show, which was, hey, it was great. We were happy to be able to get the message out, okay? But then offered to have Trayvon Martin and his family come up to White Plains to be in solidarity with us. We didn't ask for that, okay? And we actually had another event that was already planned that we were almost ready to launch. And instead we said, okay, we'll wait on that one and we'll do this.
And got hoodwinked.
Well, it turns out that apparently there were some conflicts going on there. Maybe it was something to do with a relationship with the district attorney's office. But whatever it was, either you're a minister or you're a politician. You can't be both. So if you're serious about being a minister, then you do what's right. And if that means you believe that Damon and Ken and I are wrong, you tell us that. And hopefully let us know that, and we'll have that honest conversation. We don't have to all agree, but at least you're doing what in your heart and soul you believe should be done. Now, if you're talking about something else, what kind of a relationship you're having and whose job may be affected and what kind of grant you may get to the church or what building you're going to get for $1, then it's a different issue. But if you're going to do that, do that. Don't have people out there putting their spiritual well-being in your hands.
That's right. That's right.
You know, that takes me back to a conversation that I had when I spoke to a rabbi. The question was posed to me about support in the community, and I said, well, 85% of my support base is white. I said, out of the African American community, 90% of my support base are women, black women. They come to me, they say, I have sons, thank you. I can't seem to get the men to stand on the front line to fight this issue when they are the main target.
Right.
So you would think that they would want to be out there. Now, a rabbi also asked me, she said to me, what about the black clergy?
Uh-huh.
She asked me that question. Why are they not standing with you? I said, well, look, we have a number of clergy that do support us. I said, I don't want to say they don't. I said, but we have a greater number of clergy who do not. I said, now, the difference between you and the black clergy, I said, it's very simple. I said, if the city asks the black clergy to jump, they ask how high. I said, you as a rabbi, when you ask the city to jump, the city asks you how high.
That's right.
I said,
That's right.
so that is the difference there. I said, when you're not depending on the city for funding, you're not depending on grants for child care and things like that, because you have your congregation that makes sure that child care or daycare is running and it's operating to full capacity. I said, so this is one of the problems that we have here, which always goes back to me just saying, look, unfortunately, the reality is that unless you feel what my family is feeling, unless you feel what other families, such as the Henry family, the Ridley family, until you feel that, you know, you'll dismiss this. And we have to get out of this victim mentality that we have, where people tend to say, oh, if I tell you right now, JoJo got shot down the street by the police.
What did he do?
Exactly. That's the reaction. Well, what did JoJo do? Maybe JoJo was a 4.0 student in college, ready to graduate. I've had instances where one of my sons, he was walking up the street, minding his own business, never been in trouble with the law in his life, eating fruit snacks. And detectives jumped out of the car and slapped the fruit snacks out of his hand, thinking that he had drugs inside a fruit snack bag. My son said to me, he said, Dad, I'm afraid of the police. I asked him, why didn't you let me know that when it happened? He said, no, Dad, I didn't want you to have to deal with that situation because you're dealing with so much right now. And I had to let him know, listen, you are my priority. I don't care what I'm doing. You know, you call me and you tell me you have a problem, or somebody's harassing you, or you feel like you are a victim of some type of police misconduct, brutality, or anything like that, you let me know. And I'll be right there. I'll stop everything I'm doing. But we, as a community, we have to come out together. And I always say, I can speak from this political side and tell you how political it can be. I can talk to you about all of the stuff that I've learned from the legal side now. I think I could be an attorney when it comes to this thing now. I've learned so much. But one of the things that I really try to speak to people about is the family side, what we experience. You know, when I tell people that we're going on 4 years since my father's been killed, and I still don't have a good night's sleep. I can't tell you the last time I've had a good night's sleep. The days how you just you wake up and you question yourself, even though you know that you are powerless to control anything that happened that day. You still wonder, could you have done something different? Could you have saved your loved one? You know, these are the things that you think about. Time doesn't heal all wounds. It's not true. You get stronger, but it doesn't heal all wounds. So, as Damon said, when you see a situation where you have a district attorney who is being nominated for such a high position, and you know that there are instances where she had an opportunity to indict police officers and do the right thing and make sure the rule of law applied, she failed to do that. Like Damon said, it's more than a slap in the face. You have slapped me, thrown me to the ground, stepped all on me. You have disrespected the family members. You have disrespected those who have been, who were killed, who were the victims. You've disrespected all of these people, all for self-gain. All for self-gain. And then when you have individuals who are supposed to be our leaders in our communities, who rather than stand up and say, hey, this is wrong, you side with the wrongdoers, that's a problem. That's a problem. And my question is that people will say, oh, really? That happened? But now you'll look right at those leaders in our black communities, and you won't say a word. You won't say a word. That's a problem. That's an issue. And it's something that needs to be corrected.
That's right.
We need to do something about, especially in White Plains, New York, and I'll speak about that situation. The leadership in White Plains has to change, especially in our law enforcement department. It has to change. We cannot continue to have that same regime inside the White Plains Police Department. We need to do things now to change that, and we need to put people in office who really believe, as I said, and I always go back to the rule of law, that people are treated fairly and equally under the law. These are the things that we need to do.
I can tell you this. Look, when I sit down and I think about my friends and family, and I look at any of the young people, I coach young kids playing basketball, I look at the kids I'm coaching, I'm more concerned that they will lose their lives at the hands of a police officer than I am that ISIS is going to kill them. I mean, if you really sit down and think about it, and you look nationwide, you have over 1,000 police-related shootings every year. And not all of these are supposedly justifiable shootings. Why are we not doing something about that? It just makes you wonder, how can that be the case? And then when you talk about, I mean, I can look at my former boss, Janine Pirro, and I happened to see her on TV the other night on Fox, and she's talking about give everybody a gun. And I just had to step back and say, this is the same lady that put half of Westchester County in jail for having a gun. So, I mean, if she really wants everyone to have a gun, we can start right now. I'm sure there are a whole bunch of people that would love to have a gun, pass a licensing law, and we can stop putting people in jail just for having a gun.
Right.
And then maybe that might change the way some of these interactions are going.
We have a caller. Caller, you're on People Before Politics. Please state your name and your question, please.
Yes,